Hello, good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Ad America. Thank you, everyone. And for those of you new here, Ad America is the U.S. Embassy's American Center, a place for everyone to learn more about the United States. Hello again, everyone. My name is Aldi Rashid, and I will be your e-guide for today's event, The Journey on Stage, Turning Passion into Purpose. Can we get a big round of applause? And also, to kick things off, I would like to say hi to our audience in attendance. First, from LSPR Sudirman Park, and from LSPR Transpark. Thank you, everyone. And I would like to read out the speaker's profile of our three wonderful speakers for today. First off, we have Kristine Bendul, Director, Choreographer, Mainstage Jakarta Camp 2026. Kristine is a trailblazing director, choreographer, and master educator whose career spans decades on the elite stages of Broadway and international dance. Kristine made history as the first professional female Asian American ballerina with the New Jersey Ballet Company before transitioning to Broadway. And beyond the stage, Kristine is a highly sought after international educator and advocate for equity in the arts. She has taught at world renowned institutions, including the Juilliard School and the University of Michigan. And next, we have Robby Stamper, Music Director, Mainstage Jakarta Camp 2026. Robby Stamper is an acclaimed theater composer, musical director, and alumnus of the prestigious BMI Musical Theater Workshop. Robby is also a recipient of the New York Theater Company's NEO Award for his exceptional work as a composer. And next, we have Adit Marciano, co-founder and artistic director, Camp Broadway, Indonesia. Adit is a visionary artistic director, performer, and creative entrepreneur dedicated to building robust performing arts systems in Southeast Asia. Adit graduated summa cum laude with a Bachelor of Fine Arts in Acting from the Chicago College of Performing Arts at Roosevelt University. So, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, let's welcome our speakers to the stage, Kristine Bendul, Robby Stamper, and Adit Marciano. Okay, can we get a big round of applause for our three amazing speakers today? Okay, hello, Kristine, Robby, and Adit. How are you doing today?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing great, and it's a great honor for me to be the moderator for today's discussion, The Journey on Stage, Turning Passion into Purpose. And I think today's discussion is a very important one because in attendance, we have audience who are aspiring performing artists, which will undoubtedly learn a lot of insight from the three of you. And I would like to ask to Robby, is it your first time here in America, Robby?
It's my first time to travel internationally from the United States. First time to Indonesia, first time, of course, to Jakarta. First time to get on a plane for 28 hours. So, after the jet lag for 3 days with no sleep, I was fine. And I'm sleeping like a baby now. I love your city. I love your city. It's one of the most beautiful places I've ever been in my life.
Thank you, Robby.
Thank
It's such a pleasure to have you here.
Thank you.
And also, I have a fun fact that it's not the first time for Kristine and Adit to be on stage here at America because they were once here as speakers in June 2024 in an event titled The Power of Musical Theater. Can we get a big round of applause? And for our three speakers, I would like to start our discussion today by asking you, how did you get into performing arts in the first place? What made you become performing artist? I would start first with Kristine, Robby, and then Adit.
Well, how much time do you have? No. I'll try to make it really quick, bullet points. So, what's really crazy is I was an orphan. I'm adopted by a family in New Jersey, an American family. I was found in the streets as a baby in South Korea. So, there's no papers. I don't know my real birthday. I was found by police, put in an orphanage, and I was adopted when I was a little over a year old. My because of being in the orphanage for so long, I was having problems with my legs. It were underdeveloped, not enough circulation. I remember excruciating pain, and when my parents took me to a specialist, and the doctor, by this time I was about 3, and the doctor said she's too young for physical therapy, but put her in an activity that encourages her to be on her legs and running and get the blood flowing, and it will help with everything. And so in my little town that I grew up in North Jersey, there actually was a small little dance school. It was more like a tap school. You didn't, ballet was hold the ball, what color is the ball, games and things. And it was just for fun. The purpose was to help my legs. But my best friend, that I would only see her at the dance school because she went to Catholic school, I went to public school. She wanted to become a dancer, so my best friend in the whole world left me at 10 years old. I was devastated, and it took a really long time before I could see her again. So I saw her in her dance class one day. Our families arranged it, and I had to sit and watch her taking dance class. And I remember with the bun and the point shoes and the tights and just doing fouettes. And I'm going, I have to learn how to do this and better. Even though we're best friends, there's always a little healthy competition. And right around this time, one of my older brothers was dating a dancer. She was studying in New York City at the famous Alvin Ailey School. And he brought her to the dance recital. And she saw me and she said to my parents after, you should put Kristine in a real dance school. She has natural musicality and facility. And my parents didn't know that wasn't a real dance school. And so right around this time, they asked me I had to choose one. I was racing dirt bikes, doing gymnastics, playing piano, dancing, and playing softball. And my parents said I had to choose one. I said dance, because I remember Mary. And I didn't know that would entail them finding me like the top ballet teacher in New Jersey at the time, Irene Fokin. She's from a royal lineage of ballet dancers from Russia. And I was 12 when I took my first class. And there's a whole other crazy story about how I even got there, but she was so good. She got me caught up to my level and accelerated beyond my age at 14, and I was accepted into the prestigious School of American Ballet at Lincoln Center, which is where New York City Ballet Company members come out of. Anyway, long story short, there's a lot more information, but reach out and I'll type it to you on social media, whatever. But ultimately, I had a successful ballet career for 4 years, and then when I was 18, I auditioned for Walt Disney World because I was at that age. I just wanted to get out of the house. I wanted to be on my own, be as far away from New Jersey as possible. And I auditioned for Walt Disney World and for Tokyo Disneyland. I didn't know they wanted people. They didn't want people who looked like me. They wanted people who looked like Robby. So anyway, but I did so well at the audition, and at the end of the day, I was getting cut. But the casting director called me and said, "We don't have a spot for you in Tokyo, but would you be interested in Orlando?" I said, "Yes." He said, "Whoa, whoa. You have to be there in 2 weeks." I said, "Yes." And so at 18, I moved on my own to Orlando, and I was a world dancer at Epcot Center. And it was actually a real dance show, but I discovered the love of musical theater. More fun, more money. And I loved it. And then my best friend I made down there, after several years, convinced me to move back to New York City. "Come on, girl, we're going to Broadway." And I was like, okay. And so I moved back up in the mid-90s, and I got my first Broadway show in 6 months, and my career just unfolded from there.
Wonderful. Can I get a big round of applause for Kristine? And now the same question for Robby.
Hi. So I have a very complicated story, but I'll try to make it as short as possible. I've been a musical director for 40 years. So I started when I was 2. No, just kidding. so, um, so I have a long story. I started performing when I was 4 years old. Me and my family were a traveling singing group. And so we traveled. I was born and raised in Florida, Orlando, Florida, where Kristine eventually ended up before well, she, she came to me at Disney World, and we didn't even know each other. And then we didn't meet until I came to New York. Okay, so I just took a side road, sorry. So 4 years old, traveling around the country, mainly in the South. If you know the United States, the South is Florida, Georgia, Alabama, North Carolina, South Carolina, Tennessee, West Virginia, Virginia. But we would, on weekends, travel. We would go to school in the week. On the weekends, we would travel. We made 4 records. If you Google the Stamper Brothers Quartet, you can see me as a little child. So don't do it. No, don't do it.
Not,
You don't want to do it.
not the Jonas Brothers,
Not
right?
no, not the Jonas Brothers. The Osmond, more like the Osmond brothers, more like the Partridge Family, if you know who they were. So I did that throughout my childhood. When I got out of high school, I went to college to be a piano. I'm a piano player mainly. That was I'm a singer, piano player. But I knew I could sing already. But I wanted my piano skills to get better, so I went to college and became a piano performance major. I auditioned to work for Walt Disney World in Orlando, where I was born and raised, and was hired to be a musical director. So I was a musical director at Walt Disney World for around 5 or 6 years, played every show at Walt Disney World. I got to share the stage with Mickey Mouse and Donald Duck and Pluto and Goofy. It was pretty fun, pretty fun. But I got really bored after 5 years because I learned every show. And I was like, there's got to be more for me. So a friend of mine invited me to see a show that was touring, for a Broadway company that was touring in Florida, from the show Miss Saigon. Do you know that show? An amazing show. The helicopter, all that fun stuff, if you've seen the show. After I saw that show, first Broadway show I ever saw in my life, I knew that's what I wanted to do. 1 year later, I was living in New York City. I saved my money, I moved up there. But I said yes to every opportunity. So I played auditions, I played for new shows, I played for vocal coaching, I played for colleges, I played as a teaching artist in all the schools around New York City. I was lucky enough to, around 2006, I hooked up with, again, Disney, my life, to Walt Disney Theatrical, which produced all the shows at that time, which were The Lion King, Mary Poppins, and Little Mermaid on Broadway. And they asked me to be part of their casting team. So I was able to help cast the young roles in the show, not only on Broadway, but all the tours around the world. And at the time, there were 30 productions around the world of all 3 of those shows. So it was great. So that's really what got me here.
Big round of applause for Robby. And now, Adit, how did you start discovering your passion in performing arts?
Thank you for reminding. I almost forgot the question, just being mesmerized listening to both my friends' amazing, amazing stories. Well, how can I top that? Well, as my mother liked to share, I grew up listening and dancing to Lady Gaga and Katy Perry. I've always been the odd one out. Yes, clock it. I've always been the odd one out in my family. And I've always felt like, you know, every time their songs came out, I would just bust my moves. And I think I just discovered that and kind of like explored it a bit more. So, you know, I think back in the day when I was in elementary, middle, and high school, performing arts was not as accessible. So fortunately, I was given the blessing and had the privilege to fly all the way to New York City to join Camp Broadway in 2014. And that was when I first discovered the program. But sorry, before that, in 2009, my first Broadway ever show was The Lion King. And that was when same thought that happened when Robby saw Miss Saigon. When I saw Lion King, I was like, Mom, I want to do that for the rest of my life. I saw it with my mom and 2 of my siblings while I was just mesmerized and just actively listening and watching. 2 of my siblings and my mom were just snoozing off. But anyways, yeah, 2014 Camp Broadway, and then that was when I was first introduced to kind of the world of Broadway and musical theater. And since then, my mother and I have always had the vision of bringing that amazing program over to Indonesia. But before that, I was, as you mentioned earlier, I was able to go to Chicago, complete my degree in performing and BFA in acting, and worked professionally over there. And I did Anything Goes, Hit the Wall, Call Me Madam, Legally Blonde, and all that in Chicago and the regional theater Chicago scene. And now I'm here.
Yay! Yes, and from that first question, what I can gather is it's amazing how you can start your performing arts career through the unexpected people that you meet or even the shows that you see. But what I would like to ask next is, what are the challenges that you faced? Maybe the first is for Kristine and Robby. In the highly competitive US theater industry, what are the challenges that you faced and how you overcame it?
Aside from just the challenge of succeeding in a very competitive industry, um, it is knowing that you think your life is, you have an idea of how your life is going to be, right? When I was doing ballet, I only thought I was going to do ballet, and I didn't realize that something pivotal would happen that devastated me, broke my heart. I almost wanted to stop dancing before I auditioned for Disney, and I literally thought my life was over. You know, I ate, breathed, slept ballet, and so one of the biggest challenges is just trusting that your life may direct you in different directions, but to trust that. So definitely have goals and visions, but so back then the challenge for me was not realizing that things will unfold as they're meant to. So I was having the resistance, and in addition to, oh my God, I want the show so bad, I'm so broke. At one point, I was back in that year, you could take in the ATM out the in amounts of $10 and $20 bills US. And I remember going to the ATM to take my last $10 out. I was so broke. And I was surviving on a leftover bag of rice. I had a few eggs and the soy sauce packets from Chinese takeout. And I stretched it. I made it last. And there were Subway tokens. I couldn't go anywhere because I only had one token. So if I went somewhere, I couldn't get back. So the reality is that's a challenge, you know. It's different today because if you go through musical theater programs, now in the United States, they're set up so that casting directors meet you, producers meet you, directors meet you, and most graduates from big musical theater programs already come with an agent, or they'll meet agents, they'll come with jobs, they already have a Broadway show, and they don't understand how they don't get a second show right away. But back in my day, we didn't have that. You worked so hard, but you did it. You know, that was one of the biggest challenges, figuring out how you're gonna feed yourself, how are you going to pay rent, and still keep the energy and the passion alive to keep hitting those auditions until you book?
Thank you, Kristine. And now, Robby, maybe more specifically in your role as a composer, what are some of
That's
the
a good
biggest challenges?
Yeah, that's a great question. I did have another life. I've been a very successful musical director for many, many years. But one of the other motivations for me to moving to New York City was to write a Broadway show. Not just a show, but a Broadway musical, you know, big Broadway show. So there are some amazing writing programs in New York City that are nowhere else in the world. We have the NYU Tisch writing program. I think it's a 2-year program where you're mentored by professional writers, people that have already written shows that are on Broadway. The oldest musical theater workshop is called the BMI Lingle Ingle. Lehman Ingle. That's a tongue twister. Lehman Ingle Musical Theater Workshop Writing Program. And that's a really tough program to get into. You have to submit 3 songs, 3 different styles of songs. They usually pick 10 composers a year. They get thousands and thousands of submissions from all around the world. But I was accepted this. It took 3 years for me to get into that program. I did the program. And I was like, now I can write a show and it's going to go to Broadway. No, he said, it's a lot of work to get your show to Broadway. You can write the show, you can write the best show ever in the world, but unless you have a producer, it's about the producer, it's about the money that believes in you and your project, your show will go nowhere. So I got another award. I got a Dramatists Guild Fellowship Award, which is a one-year program where you meet with a mentor once a week. You present your music to them. They give you the critique for your show, your music. You bring it back. They give you more critique, just one song at a time. And here in a musical, you have 30 songs. So it's a very slow process, one show a week over and over. And my mentors were Lynn Aaron, Stephen Flaherty, who wrote Ragtime, Once on This Island, many other, and Seussical, many other wonderful shows. I got to see them and sit with them one day a week. And they got to share their wisdom with me. It wasn't only them. I got to sit with Stephen Sondheim, who is gone now, unfortunately. God rest his soul. One of in my mind, the greatest musical theater composer ever. When Hal Prince was alive, one of the greatest directors on Broadway, Hal Prince. I got to meet with him several times, listened to my music, and gave me feedback. So it's a process, even for the greatest writers in the world. It is just a process. And I had to let go of the Broadway dream and let my shows serve the rest of the world. So I got 2 of my musicals licensed by Play Scripts Incorporated and Concord Musicals. Those are 2 wonderful licensing agencies. So my advice is to writers. If you are, I met a friend here who's a musical theater composer writer. I think she's right here, right? Musical theater composer. Good. So my advice to you is stop thinking about Broadway. Write your show. You can get it licensed. You can get it produced in theaters all over the world without it going to Broadway. Broadway is never the ultimate, all right? Get your words, get your music heard around the world without Broadway. That's what I say. And still keep that Broadway dream. Keep workshopping your show. Get producers to your readings. That's how you're going to do it, all right?
Get your music around the world and keep your dream. That's the important part. Yes. And Kadit, in a quite a contrasting way, because we are talking about the Indonesian landscape, where you have mentioned where it could be quite difficult for Indonesians to get exposed to education of performing arts or even the simplest of chances to see shows. So what are your challenges in your early part of your career?
Well, as I mentioned before, not everybody can fly all the way from Jakarta, from Indonesia to New York City and experience the magic of Camp Broadway, Indonesia, Camp Broadway, New York. But I think now that I've become a teaching artist, I would say, and established and continuing to develop Camp Broadway, Indonesia and Asa Pentas Mahakarya Academy, I think one of the greatest challenges is to introduce an integrated musical theater curriculum. And with the guidance of Broadway Education Alliance, with Susan Lee and her team, what over the course of 4 years, I think we've slowly plant some seeds within our local young artists. And over the course of 4 years, we've established an accumulation of 150 students all over Indonesia and beyond. We had last year from Tokyo and Singapore and Brunei. It's amazing. But again, one of the challenges is, I think, in that introduction of an integrated musical theater curriculum. And then also empowering the audiences and educating the audiences has also been quite a challenge. Because, like when we talk about musical theater, people would think about Broadway and West End. So I think another challenge for us as teaching artists here in Indonesia is to not mimic and mirror musical theater as only Broadway and West End, but also as a performer that can transform and reflect their own cultural identity through storytelling on stage. Musical theater is not just Broadway and West End. It is like they are the mecca of musical theater, but it's not the only musical theater areas. And so I think ultimately, we want to empower young artists, and with we want to have education to empower young artists, and with young artists it will inspire the audience, and audiences are hungry for new works. They're hungry for new storytellers and new young artists, and I really do hope with with what we are doing here together, and especially next year with our 5-year anniversary of Camp Broadway Indonesia, we will keep continuing doing what we do best.
Yes, can we get a big round of applause? Yes. And speaking of Camp Broadway Indonesia, I read that you joined the same exact program as a teenager.
Yeah,
And things
2014.
are becoming sort of a full circle where you experience the program and then you are now giving back to the Indonesian performing artists. So I would like to ask, how did it all start, Camp Broadway Indonesia?
Well, I owe it all a lot to my mom. She's my partner in crime. If it wasn't for her push and motivation, I think the three of us would not even be here today. So, Mom, I love you if you're watching this. But again, it was just the only 5 days with Camp Broadway New York in 2014. I was only 15 years old, but the short amount of time that I was being immersed and cultivated, being surrounded by like-minded people who love dancing to Katy Perry and Lady Gaga, who foster and challenge myself to be creative at such a young age, at such a short amount of time was amazing, you know. And the amazing thing about Camp Broadway is that they're not only cultivating in polishing the hard skills in acting, singing, and dancing, but more so putting an emphasis on honing our presentation skills, our public speaking, our confidence level, most importantly. Because day one, we come as strangers, and day five, we leave with lifelong friendships and lifelong memories. And that was the many reasons that my mother and I have always had the vision of bringing this amazing program over to Indonesia. And alhamdulillah, after graduating college, we were able to sign a partnership with Broadway Education Alliance between Asa Pentas Mahakarya. And now, like I said, we've taught 150 more so students over the course of 4 years and counting.
And counting. Yes, so what a wonderful achievement by Camp Broadway Indonesia. And as a follow-up, I would like to ask about Mainstage Jakarta Camp. Is it like a separate program, or can you tell us more about it? And also, to Kristine and Robby, as mentors in that program, how do you see the program itself and also the young talents from Indonesia?
Your first question, though, was what?
How do you see the Mainstage Jakarta Camp program?
Oh, the difference.
Yeah.
Oh, I think is that a me question? Oh, okay. So within Camp Broadway Indonesia, we are a youth enrichment program where we teach young artists over the ages of 8 to 17 years old who loves theater, who loves being weird like we do. But we have two big programs. The first is the CBI Ensemble, where in the beginning of the year in January, we would open auditions for children ages 12 to 17 years old. And we are given a slot for 5 young Indonesian talents to be sent to New York City and perform at Carnegie Hall to perform with 55 other ensembles from around the world to celebrate the New York Pops Anniversary Gala at Carnegie Hall. But before flying out to New York, after completing the auditions, they had to go through 8 intensive workshops with our local mentors. And then they would go through some media training, public speaking training, presentation skills, and then they would fly out at the end of the spring in April in New York City, and they only undergo 2 days of rehearsal with Camp Broadway New York team and the other 55 ensemble members from around the world. And then they perform Monday night at Carnegie Hall with the New York Pops. And annually, they honor legendary artists. Like this past month, if anyone knows Stephen Schwartz, they sang with the Stephen Schwartz and the Shoshana Bean and Telly Leung and Ben Platt and many more. Last year it was Diane Warren. 2 years ago was Clive Davis. 4 years ago was Barry Manilow, and then Charo and Diane Warwick was there. So it's amazing. So that's one of our program, and then the second one is the Mainstage Summer Camp, which is, I would say, quite different from the CBI Ensemble. It's open for kids of all levels, all backgrounds, ages 8 to 17 years old. And yeah, it's a 6-day summer camp where we fly in international mentors like Kristine as the director and choreographer, and Robby as the music director, where they undergo 6 long day of intensive camp. And at the end of the camp, they perform songs and scenes from a beloved Broadway show title that we choose every year. But beyond acting, singing, dancing, and performing the songs and scenes of the show title, we also invite industry professionals for talkbacks. Like this year, we had Kak Lea Simanjuntak as one of the guest speakers for the parent panel discussion, and Kak Atea Sardadi, and Kak Putri Indam Kamila, Kak Putchis. And we also had a makeup workshop, because beyond performing on stage, we also want to introduce the many pathways that they can pursue off stage as makeup artists, as lighting directors, as producers, as directors, as stage managers, because again, musical theater is beyond than performing on stage. It's also off stage that equally contribute as much as the people on stage. So those are the two, very briefly, explanation of our programs. Thank you.
Awesome. And now I would like to ask to Kristine and Robby, how was your experience as the mentors in the Mainstage Jakarta camp?
It is such a blessing and a gift to just share my life's experience and inspire and guide. I started with Camp Broadway in New York. I was doing Cinderella on Broadway at the time, and in the New York week, they lose a day of rehearsal because they go see a show, a Broadway show, and they always pick one person to teach a guest workshop. And I was selected that year to teach for Camp Broadway. And it was just such a great experience seeing all the just desire and interest for these young kids. And so I was so surprised and happy the following year, they hired me as a director choreographer. And I got to travel around the United States in the summers, and you're in a different city every week. And I've been with Camp Broadway until the company closed because of the pandemic. And I remember doing a Zoom meeting with the founder, Susan Lee, and a few other people. She wasn't sure if she could keep the company going. Little did we know that someone from Indonesia would reach out to her to help bring the program here and breathe new life into the company. And so I was the one who Susan wanted to come here. And so it's so incredible to see the growth within 5 days of working with children who may have never sung, danced, or acted before. And by the end, because it's not about being the best one in the room. I mean, it's lovely to have the talents, but it's really about the development of character and seeing them just embrace this journey and trusting and making friends. And then the reaction at the end, the happy tears, they don't want to leave, and it's so, so rewarding. So my journey over a decade with Camp Broadway that now brings me here is just beyond words. I cannot explain it. It is so special. And I said to Adit after the first year, I said, I am yours if you want me back. I would gladly come back. And it's just such a beautiful thing we feel we've created and done together. So I feel beyond blessed.
I just mirror everything that Kristine just said about our campers at Camp Broadway this year, Jakarta 2026. I've been with Camp Broadway since 2012 and have taught many, 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 many thousands of young campers at Camp Broadway. And as wonderful as they have been, this has been a whole nother level of our young performers here in Jakarta. There's a couple of them here with us today. If you can give them a big round of applause. Yes. So the future of musical theater in Jakarta, Indonesia is looking very, very good. And I also want to say that yesterday I got to teach a master class at Bina Music Jakarta. Yes, wonderful program. I got to work with the faculty there, and I showed them how I do my things in America. And it's a little different than what they do. I think I might have scared them a little bit, but it was a lot of fun. And I want to say, as our future teachers, musical theater directors and musical directors and producers, I think everything is looking wonderful for the future of musical theater in Jakarta, Indonesia. Thank you.
Wonderful. Thank you very much, Robby. And the interesting part from this discussion for me is learning that you were all once students and then you became teachers. And then now you encounter students from Indonesia.
I'm still a student.
Still a student to this day. What piece of advice would you give to aspiring performing arts practitioners and our friends here from LSPR who are wanting to pursue their career in the industry that you are going through right now? What piece of advice for all three speakers? Kristine?
So I would say if you want a career in the arts, you have to have a passion for it. Don't do it to become famous. Don't do it to make money. I mean, thank goodness there's more and more support over the decades. You do it because you have to. You do it because you cannot imagine your life any other way. And even with that passion, like I said earlier, life may throw you some twists and turns, and it's not easy. You know, just remember, it's not easy, and it's commitment. Okay, you can't think, oh, I saw this TikTok video, I learned the choreography, now I'm going to be a star. No, that's not how. You have to invest. Okay, so now if you don't have that extreme passion, you're doing it as a hobby, great, enjoy. But if you want a profession in it, it is commitment. You have to invest your time, your energy. You can't go, oh, I'm tired, I don't want to go to class, I'm tired, I'm going to go late to rehearsal. No. No, 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 no. I mean, it really is something that you have to be so passionate for. And don't get stuck and complacent because maybe you're good at one thing, right? Because now the talent, because of social media and what's available, everyone is learning so many things. When I started, it was you were a dancer or you're a singer. Or maybe you were a dancer or a singer who could tumble. And even in the dancers, you were a ballet dancer or a tap dancer or a jazz dancer. People didn't cross over. And I was one of the very few decades ago who did. But work on your craft and then start working on things that your weakness, because that will get you there. But also don't expect anything, all right? Respect is earned, not, taken. Yeah, so you have to work hard to get the respect, but also work because you love it. Work hard because you love it.
Yes.
Thank you, Kristine. And Robby?
Yes, again, as a musical director, it's a little bit of a different world. But as a performer, as you know, if you audition and audition and audition, that's your job. So you're going to get a lot of rejection. And I love my friend here, Adit, taught me something I really love, and I'm going to cherish this and share it with my students. Rejection is protection. So think about that. So if you believe that everything happens for a reason, it's not your time yet, the universe is protecting you from not being quite ready. Because if you're not ready, then to make yourself ready, take those lessons, take those workshops, take those voice lessons, take those dance lessons. For me, mostly important, take those acting lessons, because we don't sing, we have to act the song. We have to act the dance. It's all about telling the story. So learn how to tell the story through your art. Once a door closes, there will be another one that will open for you. It may take time, but keep looking for that door and walk through it again. Never, never give up. Never give up on your dream. Yes.
Thank you, Robby. Adit.
What great advices. Thank you so much for a great reminder, Kristine and Robby. I have three, and I'll make it very brief. One, the first is something that I always tell my kids: gratitude is always the right attitude. It's having a grounding heart and intention will take you a long way. Like as Robby said, and Kristine, you will face rejection. You will face more no's than yeses, but facing it with gratitude will help you even make yourself an even stronger individual and artist. The second one is, as Robby mentioned, put in the work.
Yes.
Be punctual, be passionate, as Kristine mentioned. Keep honing your skills, sharpening those skills that you feel like, ooh, I think my areas in acting needs more work, or in singing, or in dancing, or even in public speaking, which I'm sure the London School of Public Relation excels at. So that's not, an issue. But yeah, put in the work, second. And the third one is, here's my professional career advice. Get a good financial consultant. It's true, because I'm a huge spender. And I learn from my mistakes. But now as a professional teaching artist, I travel a lot. And taxes are different in different countries and places.
Different countries.
Yeah, so yeah, get a great financial advisor. Well, yeah, no, but also just again as artists, like it can be challenging financially. So just being mindful of your spending and thinking ahead would be great.
And one more.
I just wanted to add one thing regarding auditions because it's nerve wracking and we get in our heads and we're like, I should have, When you go audition for anything, the job, you're going to be yourself. Go just be yourself. Go be yourself, have a great time, do your best, and as long as you walk out there going, you know what? I feel really good whether I got the job or not. That's what you want to feel at the end of the day, at the end of an audition, because from the other side of the table casting, it is never about the talent at the end of the day. It's a puzzle. It's like, okay, this person not only has to do that role, but they have to internally cover those roles and fit into that costume and whatnot. And you just can't take it personally. Your job is to show up, have a great time, trust that who you are is enough, and just leave it. I feel good with how it went, and don't stay back there. Keep moving forward, right? Don't dwell.
Yes, thank you to our three wonderful speakers. And in a few moments, we are about to witness a showcase performance by the students of LSPR. They will be performing several numbers from their original production with original script, lyrics, songs, and choreography. And the interesting part about this is after each showcase performance, you will get a live feedback from Kristine and Robby. Can we get a big round of applause, everyone? So for the first performers, I would like them to get ready. And I would like to invite our three speakers back to the bleachers so you can enjoy the full performance. Thank you, everyone. Can we get a big round of applause for our speakers? Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Kalavana production by LSPR Sudirman Park Class.
Hello, citizens. My name is Epsilon 17 KP Type 3. I am an analyst from ATL, and I work under the orders of Dr. Cray. Who is that? Identify yourself. Defensive systems are active.
Okay, just stop shouting.
Visual confirmation is required. Why are you concealing your location? Show yourself.
Calm down. I'm not here to hurt anybody. Don't worry.
Stop shouting.
You stop shouting.
Reveal yourself.
I mean, no harm. Whoa! Can't believe it. It's real. You're real. Can't believe this. All this time, all the stories, all the ancient texts, all I've ever heard about you.
What are you?
I really am good at this. Hi. Yeah. Hi, I'm Brina, and I'm a real good Cenarian.
Why are you here?
You wonder why I seem so weird. I might not fit the shape you used to see. May look different, quite unsure, but I've learned my ways to wrong and right. 'Cause where I'm from, we don't realize the part of us that takes up all this space. What makes us understand how we feel? What makes us feel so human? Yeah, human. Car has things to say. Steer back to where. Tell me there's more to see. System has to run. Because I'm tired of telling you all the things you know outside the lines. Curiosity is the key to know all that you feel in me.
One step past to what you've been told.
One step closer to what you know is true. Here, outside of the line, maybe it's just like outside your line.
Outside of the line, I'm gonna cross the line.
See? Okay, look. Why don't we help each other? An allyship.
Allies, a strategic union for mutual benefit. The proposal is logical. All right.
Deal. Now let's get to work on that cure. Let's go. Why? Why do you walk like the floor is judging you?
I am calculating the possibility of danger. Why do you talk excessively?
You talk like a warning label.
Well, thank you.
That wasn't a compliment.
Really?
Yeah.
Let me tell you something, something that I know. I will show you all my steps, ways to move around. Let me lay my ground rules, make them crystal clear. Keep your eyes wide open and just follow my lead here. Watch and learn so you can get it right. Let's see. Oh, try think about books. You have to stick with the rules when you have all the answers, but you know the tools. If you want to know the steps, surely have to know the patterns. There is a thing called orders and measures to know just what comes next.
Okay. Why do you move like that? Like motions are tragic mistakes. Shoulder side, eyes look ahead. Who told you find some things that you dress? It's not what I've ever had.
Well, I will teach you the most. Know that you have to be still. Do not laugh too much. Do not get too much. Know when you talk, try to keep it low. No pressure, no imperfection, and no correct.
Chill out.
If you want this to work, you need to stay within the lines.
No, but Allie, it's just a little hard for me to fix. We sway and we stumble. We got different rules.
So you have to know the steps.
You can teach me all the patterns.
So stay right here beside me. See the world through different eyes.
Yes, you show me something, something unexplored. All the ways to be like you, all the lines and all.
This is where it all begins. See, this is where you get the feeling. Systematic order, what an excellent proceed. Get your gears, direction sets. It all starts from here. Calculate, be accurate.
La la
Kalafana production by LSPR Sudirman Park Class. Can we get another big round of applause, everyone? And
Ro-
now we will listen to feedback from Kristine and Robby.
Thank you so much for performing that and bringing that to us. Did you write it yourselves?
Yes.
Yes. Amazing.
Yes.
yeah.
Me.
Yeah.
and I wrote
The,
it.
the song?
Yeah.
The show and
Oh,
the
the song,
songs and
yeah.
everything?
Yeah.
Wow.
yeah.
Wonderful. Um, to be honest, I got the story that you were a robot from the beginning because I could hear you. Once the music came in, the levels with the microphone, I couldn't understand a single lyric you sang. So the story went completely by me. It's not your fault. It was the levels, or the music was too loud and the mics were too muffled, like close to your mouth. So I could understand your words at the very beginning. After the first number, I could understand a little more. But what I did get was that you're a robot. You've always wanted to see something like her, I think, and somehow you were trying to get her to not be so robotic. Is that the correct? Is that kind of the story? And
Yes.
so, if anything, so that's cool that I kind of got it, even though I couldn't understand a single word because of sound. There's power in stillness. So the only reason I knew you were a robot because you said something about I am letter, letter, number, letter, whatever that was. And sometimes when we're uncomfortable, we feel like we always have to move. Yeah. So if you literally didn't move at all and you just gave your lines with the most minimal movement and barely turn your head even as she comes in, right? Then we are registering that there is something very off. And you're moving around the stage a lot. It breaks the storytelling and the belief in your character. So just remember there's so much power, even for you when you come in, your excitement, you're jumping, but there's also on stage the contained excitement. Oh my God. Oh, as opposed to this, so just remember your power on stage for all of you. Find your comfort in and bring in your energy in your body. Once the dancers came in, your choreography was great. The robots, amazing. If you had used that vocabulary, I think for you, if you did want to move, have it that more robotic, yeah, because you were so beautiful in your movement just as a young woman. It was not establishing the intention of the story of her trying to get you, because you were already moving and walking around the stage. So if anything, it's just more of just not being used to that. We feel like, oh, I feel like I should be doing something, and there's just power in stillness until the dance number comes in, right? So the whole device of musical theater is the story builds, whatever's happening in this scene gets so big that even acting in words aren't enough, and that is why we start singing. And when that's not enough, that's why we start dancing. Yeah, that's the whole device of musical theater. That is why it exists as it does. So adorable, really adorable. I really wish the sound was better, and I know you didn't do sound, not your fault at all, because I would have loved to have heard the lyric of your character's story and what you were saying to her. Once the music came in, I couldn't understand anything. But I mean, congratulations, because you have the talent to put something together like this. So amazing, amazing. I congratulate all of you. And it was so cool. I'm like, oh, I love that whole motif and theme. So keep developing.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Great feedback, Kristine. Yes, I thought it was so much fun to watch. Congratulations, because I know it's hard to put a new show out in front of a new audience, especially with Broadway professionals, but you have nothing. We're real people. We're normal people. So we see things like this all the time, and I just commend the work that you did to put this on stage in front of us. Congratulations to you. And I just want to say, just for me, it's just about the sound. Even though you were wearing a mic, you still used really good diction. Do you know what I mean by diction, enunciation, articulation, where you're speaking really, really clearly? You can't expect the mic to do the work for you vocally, all right? For me, I tell my students anytime we use a mic, the mic is only there to pick up what you put into it. So you can't be lazy with your pronunciations, with your articulations when you're singing, because you both have beautiful voices, fantastic singing on pitch. Your ranges are fantastic. I thought the show came to another level when the rest of the cast entered. It just brought it even more alive. I had so much fun. Just remember also that musical theater is storytelling. It doesn't matter how good you can sing, how good you can dance, how good you can act, if the audience isn't hearing the story. So make sure you remain the storytellers from the very beginning to the very end. All right? So congratulations again for your great
Congratulations.
work. Thank you for sharing with us. Thank you. Wonderful. Bravo. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much for Kalapana production by LSPR Sudirman Park class. Okay, everyone, can we get another big round of applause? Yes, and I believe the next showcase will be fun and we'll give them some time to prepare themselves. And as we wait, I would like to chit chat a bit with somebody who has been recording the first performance the entire time, Sir Melvin. Can you come up stage, please, Sir Melvin, while we wait for the performance? So, Sir Melvin, what do you think of the performance earlier, and what do you want to say to the students?
Okay, before we want to say to all the students, but first of all, thank you to Kristine and Robby for the input and for the experience. This is amazing journey and also experience for our students. And for our students, please giving a round of applause for our speakers. And also, we would like to say thank you to Mr. Adit Marciano because of him and also the teams of Mr. Adit, we can be a part of this amazing journey and also these events. And for all the students, I hope you guys learned something and you guys, we are so blessed to prepare these things and also show this in front of the amazing speakers. And good luck for the 1TP Transpark students. Good luck and thank you.
Thank you, Sir Melvin. You may return to your seat. And are you ready for the second performance?
I just want to make sure the sound, the music isn't louder than their voices.
Okay, so that's the input from
Just let's
Kristine
please,
for the second
for
performance.
The sound, whoever's running sound, be aware so we can hear their voices, please.
Okay, so everyone, are you ready for the second performance? Yes, ladies and gentlemen, please give it up for Satu Waktu production by LSPR Transpark class.
Everyone, I'm Mary. I came a long way from Malang. How you guys feeling? I hope you're feeling as great as I am. I can't believe that I can start a career now in Jakarta. Waking up this morning, thought it was been another day here. I know a place is calling, cause it knows I have no fear. Them means they know me, it also be days right as they say. How could I be carefree while everybody's looking? I have to be there soon, even when I'm not ready to move. But mama told me to shine like the moon. I can't wait to be there and on my day, even though you're too good to be true. Oh, calling my name, burning like a pain. City too big, but I'll make it through. Oh, Jakarta, it's gonna be nice to meet you.
param pam zoom param param pam pam doo doo doo. Oh Jakarta, she's very thrilled to meet you.
This city calls my name. Oh, we'll never be the same. Oh,
City so big,
finally here to stay.
make it come true.
On my way, oh, look at me. I'm stepping into everything brand new.
Go Mary,
Oh, this city's gonna know my name.
go Mary, go Mary.
Hold it harder. Hold it harder.
Stop, don't
Hold
worry.
it harder.
Big dreams you
Hold
carry.
it harder.
She's gonna make it,
Hold
Mary.
it harder. Hold it harder. Oh, Jakarta. Yes, it's really nice to meet you.
Hey, Mary!
Talk about bringing the house down.
Wow. So how was it, Mary? How is Jakarta? I bet it's nice.
Well, you might have to prepare yourself. So, you're gonna be prepared mentally.
Yes, of course. And, well, anyway, where are you come from?
Like I said, I came from Malang. It's a small town, like a small town there.
So, what are you doing here? It's so far from your hometown, right?
Yes. Well, my mom is sick and I need to earn more money to help my mom and my sister.
Okay, well. Then if that's so, Mary, we see. Then you gotta work perfectly. You must be strong.
Well, everybody's here must have a family, future, and dreams to take care of. Am I right, guys?
Right. And being sandwich generation, it's not for the weak. If you can stand Jakarta, then welcome to the club.
You gotta be tough.
And you gotta be fantastic.
And let us teach you how.
Boys, time to shine. I'm Leo,
I'm Mark.
And I'm Daniel.
and we are
Jakarta Superboys.
What is this?
Come, you are welcome. It's a fun place to start. Innovative taste, creative eyes. Come, Mary, you are welcome. Come, you are welcome. It's surely quite a big surprise. Here comes the girl with a creative mind. Come, Mary, you are welcome. Right, so this one right here, I heard there's an answering to it, isn't it?
Wait, who's the name again?
My name is...
Marie. Marie?
It's Mary.
Well, Sound of Hustle the musical will be performed in
25 to 26 of July in 2026.
At the Amani Palladium, LSPR Bekas.
Enjoy the show and we'll see you very soon.
Catch up, keep up, don't be slow. Let's see how far you really go.
Everybody, let's go.
I guess dreams really do come true. I think they like me. I don't know, but I don't even know what's coming in the new chapter for me. It isn't real. A new chapter happens for real. This is so frightening. My hair is checked, makeup's perfect. Oh, 'cause this is a new chapter for me. This is a new chapter for me. This is a new chapter for me. opening, new chapter, real job. Don't do something stupid, Mary. Take a deep breath. A reminder to myself, my family's not doing well. New chapter sounds scary, so I have to match the pace.
Welcome to Studio 47. This is Mary from Malang, and she will be working with us starting from today. So please, welcome her.
Thank you. Hi, it's nice to see you. It is unreal. New chapters happening for real. It is so frightening. Mine looks okay. Today is the day. Oh, wow. It is a new chapter for me. A new chapter for me. It's a new chapter for me. This is a new chapter for me. For me, Mary, 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 Mary. A new chapter for Mary.
Yes, and now we'll listen to the feedback from Kristine and Robby.
So live theater, live performance, right? I mean, I commend you. You kept going and the house fell apart. I'm glad nobody got hurt. That was amazing. Really engaging from the very beginning. I'm just curious, the sound of hustle, I'm curious what that means to you. What, are you talking about the hustle of a city? Because hustle is actually a dance that I do. So I was like, ooh, hustle show, you know? So I was a little confused. Was it meant to be the hustle of a city?
Yes, it is
Ah,
because
okay.
the character of the Mary, the main character, she got like a new job, but then she got like she faced sexism
Yeah.
and stuff in Jakarta. So yeah.
Yeah, okay, so it was Jakarta, not New York. Okay. I kind of got that. You came on stage, you owned the stage. It was amazing. Your character was so strong and your presence was so great. When you started singing, it went to this poppy place that, again, I just lost the lyric. And like your last belting was so clear. And we have to remember, if we're doing musical theater, even if we're doing pop music, you still have to make this sound very clear. Right, so I know it's in there because you did it at the end. It was amazing. And then when you're
Thank you.
speaking and your diction and your character is so great and clear, and it just get a little muddled because we kind of go to this like today's pop place. So if anything, I would say just really trying to work on the musical theater sound when you're singing, and I think the diction will help with your pitch as well. The choreography was fantastic, very engaging. The opening number was really set up like an opening number. When we're in a scene with the lines, again, don't feel like you have to overact. Like the two friends on the side, don't feel like you have to, you don't have to mime anything. Right? If you're a character playing like, oh, get a load of that one over there, right? That you really don't have to do much. There's more power because also it's less distracting and it's learning how not to pull focus from the scene that's happening. And then also in that, obviously I'm sure there was some nerves and everything, but when you're doing scene with lines, and even for the other people, have you heard of something called picking up your cues? Right? You want to know your lines well enough so that it just drives the scene. So this is something when you're practicing for everyone in anything, whether it's these musicals, your acting class, just really, acting isn't only saying the lines. So I got you saying the lines, your characters were great, but I didn't witness active listening, right? So acting isn't just memorizing your lines and knowing when to say it after the last person said their line, right? So what makes you a great actor or actress is you're actively listening, the other person's saying a line, you're having a reaction, but you're still able to pick up your cues, so it almost feels like a real dialogue. Yeah, so that's advice I would give to both of you. But your staging is great, even with the thing that fell down. I was like, oh God, you know. But really, really fun, really fun. I definitely got the misogyny. That was for sure. So good job to you guys. Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Yes, very, very good. What is your name?
My name?
Yes.
My name is Gladys.
Gladys, congratulations. You have a beautiful voice.
Thank you so much.
And a really, yes. And you too, again, beautiful voices over here, fantastic. Anything that we say, we know you're really great just because you're here and you're on a stage on television. But the things we say are only just to make it better and better, all right? It's not to put down anything you've done. It's just to congratulate you for what you've done. Now let's see if we can make it even better and better, all right? So don't take anything we say personally. They're just, as professionals, these are things that we would say to our students to make them want to be better and better. That's all that we're doing. Gladys, fantastic. I did feel it the same thing when you came, your stage presence when you took the stage was really strong.
Oh, thank you so much.
Yes, you're welcome. But I felt like when you went into your songs, it was like, okay, now I'm going to be a singer. And so I lost the energy. You still had the notes, you still had the pitch, but I just lost your clearness in your words because I felt like now I'm going to be a singer. I felt you forgot that you're also an actor, all right? So I was saying, just remember, try to maintain the same character, keep telling the same story, the same voice when you speak as when you transition to the singing. But Gladys, congratulations, fantastic work. The guys here, the boys, when they came on stage, you really took it with force with all the ensemble. You worked together great as a team. An ensemble is a team working together to tell the story. And I felt when you all came on the stage, it rose it all to another level of storytelling. Great, great work. Just congratulations again. Thank you so much for sharing your talent with us.
Thank you so
And
much.
I just want to piggyback on something that Robby said about staying in character. It's not we're acting when we only say the lines, right? When you're singing, you're the character having those emotions, and when you're dancing, you're the character having that movement, right? So you don't separate it. Try to stay true no matter what it is you're doing. And when you sing the story, you don't have to think about what should I do with my body if it's really sincere, right? So that's just a secret. When you look at the lyrics and know what the character's true moment in that scene is, and if you stay true to that, you won't have to second guess and be like, maybe I should walk over there and then do this thing. And as long as you're super sincere, and sometimes a character can, in real life, sometimes you're talking with a friend and you're just so engrossed in the conversation, you're just riveted in one spot. You don't walk around, right? We don't walk around when we're talking to people. We just plant, yeah? So if you just remember that intention, most of the time you won't have to overthink how should we stage this song or how should we stage this scene. Yeah. But anyway, congratulations to everyone. And thank you so much for being so brave and doing that for us. And like Robby said, we hope that what you take helps just put it in your mind and make you better. Yeah?
Yes.
Thank you so much for the inputs.
Once again, please give it up for Satu Waktu Production. Can we get another big round of applause for our two showcase performances today? Thank you, everyone. Thank you to our wonderful speakers, Kristine Bendul, Robby Stamper, and Adit Marciano. Boleh minta tepuk tangannya sekali lagi yang paling meriah? Yes, thank you everyone. And that marks the end of our event for today. My name is Aldi, and see you at the next Ad America event. Bye everyone.